Britt, Billie. What do you think of that rendition? I absolutely loved it. Go out to our website, www.avradio.org, and you go to the artists we support, and you will find David there. David was our Artist Spotlight of the Week last week, and it is our honor and our privilege to have David joining us from North Carolina and on the phone with us now. Good morning, David.
Good morning. So happy to be on the show. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate that. Thanks for the shout out with my song, too, and the Artist Spotlight. That was really kind. Thank you.
Oh, man, thank you for being here. Now, we've got to ask you right off the bat. You know, your bio says that you grew up playing the fiddle. Did you actually do the fiddle rendition of that song?
You know, I did not. On that song right there, I've been playing fiddle since I was 3. And, you know, they always say, I played tennis growing up, and, you know, that my coaches always say, you know what, always remember, there's always somebody better than you somewhere. I don't care who you are. You know, you might not have met him yet, but there's always somebody better. And I'll tell you right now, Glenn Alexander is who played that fiddle right there. And he, one of the best fiddle players in the country. I've heard a lot of people play it. He is quite amazing. And so I played on some of my songs, but on that one, I had Glenn play on it. He knocked that out. And I'm not kidding on this one. He knocked that out on one take.
Oh, wow.
He came in, he heard our rendition of it, and he always says, David, let me hear it one time. He heard it one time in the studio, and literally 30 seconds from there, he told my producer, Jason Scavone, he said, go ahead, hit play. And, man, he knocked that out on one take.
Wow.
That's fabulous. And we talk about it all the time about how country, the genre, is ever changing, and you putting a country twist on a very pop song, that's just fabulous.
It's a great job. What made you think about doing that?
Well, you know, I'm a big Michael Jackson fan, and as are my kids, and I always loved his music. And, you know, I just, it was a few years ago, and I said, you know, I want to redo a Michael Jackson song. You know, there a lot of people have tried to do them, and I've heard some great ones. But you got to be careful when you're redoing.
Oh yeah.
You know, songs by people of that stature, and so Billie Jean's always been, you know, one of my very favorite songs, and so called up my producer. I said, I want to do Billie Jean, and he said, hey, let's give it a roll. And I used to, when I was a kid, I always sing it at karaoke and stuff like that at parties and stuff growing up. And we put it together, and it's a crazy story how the whole thing took place. So we put the song together, and Billie Jean's a long song. It's probably, oh gosh.
Right at 5 minutes.
The real, 5+ minutes, right?
Yes, it is.
We went ahead, and what we tried to do at first is try to go step by step and recreate the whole song country-like. And that particular song, there are so many layers of it. It took a long time, and so we put it together. It was about the same length, and at that time, another North Carolina native, Jimmy Wayne, who has become a good friend of mine, Jimmy and I had become friends on Twitter, and I just sent him a thing. This is before I even released it. Hey, Jimmy, I said, because I knew he was a Michael Jackson fan as well. I said, Jimmy, I want you to listen to the song I'm working on. I've redone Billie Jean. He said, oh man, send it over. So I sent it over, and man, he listened to it. He said, David, I love this. He goes, do you mind if I make any suggestions? And I was like, not at all. I mean, good gracious, Jimmy Wayne making a suggestion. I was like, I'll listen. So he said, look, this song is rocking, but I want you to make it your own song. So don't feel like you need to have it the exact same length as the original. He said, you know, cut it down here. He gave me about 5 or 6 steps to do, and went back in the studio, and we completed those and sent it back to him, and he was so excited. He said, this is great. And that's kind of how the whole thing happened. So,
wow.
You know, we released it, and man, it's just really, it's been a good one. And Sony agreed to let me release it actually for sale, so it's on iTunes now. And you know, it's been a fun song to get out there and let the people hear.
So when you do your quote unquote your country concerts, do you always include that with it?
Yeah, that's one that you can't leave out. This is a fun one. Everybody loves that. You know, it's one of those songs. It's, you know, the first 2 seconds of the song, people know what song it is. You know,
right.
I mean that bass line is recognizable worldwide. So I mean, everybody knows that immediately. Oh, Billie Jean. So yeah, I've always been a big fan. My brother and I go to this. There's a cover band called Who's Bad, and They play all across the country, and they're Michael Jackson cover band. Man, they are unreal. And they were just here, I think, a month ago. But they're awesome, and so, just always been a MJ fan, and I think I'm going to redo some other songs from his in the future.
Well, that sounds cool. You have a lot of great tunes and great music on your album. Is there another song that sticks out that you just enjoy playing at your shows? Or
You're very sweet. Thank you. There are always, a couple that I'm always going to play. They're fun, and then two, I like drawing emotion out of people, and so I've always got, one of my songs that's kind of like a go-to for me is a song called He Made You, which is a song about my children, and so I always sing that, and then on a completely different side of the pole we got To Hell With Your Love, which is just a real rocking song, and people really love that in concert. So I always play those two. But I write so much. Sometimes I forget. I've written a song. People say, "Hey, can you play this song?" I'm like, you know what? I forgot I wrote that. Because I'll take songs and I write so much. I'll record them because my fans like to hear what I'm working on. And so trying to get in the studio and recording every single song is virtually impossible. And I finally figured that out because when you write 20 songs in, a week and a half, you can't get in the studio and do all those. So what I do is I'll take them at home and I'll just record them acoustically, as I'm working on them, throw them out there, let people listen to them, and that's kind of what I do. I just so those two songs I always end up playing in concert. Country Flow is another fun song to play in concert, and so I just have a lot of fun. Love writing music, love people, just good times.
Well, you mentioned writing all the songs. Reading your bio, it says, you grew up playing the fiddle and singing in choirs, but you actually didn't start, quote unquote, writing music until 2009. And now you have over 700 songs that you've written. You got, what happened? What happened to you? What turned that on?
Man, I tell you, it's funny. They always say there's got to be a catalyst,
Sure.
For songwriters. And, back in into 2009, really, I didn't really actually start recording until about 2010. I'm still in the real estate market. I do commercial brokerage and development, and got a really cool partner here in Charlotte to work with, and
the paying
still
job,
doing that.
Right?
What's that?
The paying job.
The paying, that's exactly right. Yeah, guys have to pay the bills so you can pay for the studio time, right?
That's right.
I was in the middle of that, and when the market crashed, during the recession, during that time frame, I had a lot of time on my hands, and it was not the most positive time in
Sure.
people's lives as far as real estate, and really pretty much anybody's at that time. But I said, I've always wanted to do this. I've got time on my hands. I got to figure out what in the world I'm going to do with my life. Got a 3-year-old and a brand new baby, and we were like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And so naturally, what do? You start writing music. So I started writing. I didn't know how to play the guitar, and so I just kind of taught myself how to play the guitar. Started going at it, and still not the greatest guitar player in the world, but I can write songs all day long. So I just when I record, I will play, but I bring in the best musicians to play, lead and stuff like that, because, I'm always a fan of other musicians who can really kill it. And I'm like, hey, I'd rather have you playing it when we're recording, because I want it to sound great,
Sure.
and I want it to sound top notch. So I'll play on it, but I always have them playing on it as well. When I play in concert, I've always got a couple guitars going other than my guitar as well, because, like I said, I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses, and we all have them. And so that's kind of how I run my show, and just got a great bunch of guys to work with. And it's really fun. I love writing music. It's fun to, express yourself, get your feelings out there. I've met so many awesome people everywhere. It's just incredible. All across the world. It's amazing. Country music is huge everywhere. And I've got friends in Germany and Australia and Iceland, and just everywhere. I feel like they listen to my music, and I've gotten to be friends with them, and so it's a really special thing. So that's kind of how it all took off. But still real estate market bounced back, thank God. It's been great. I've really enjoyed the success of that, and I'm very thankful and blessed. I'll always do that, but signed with a record label about a year and a half ago, and just going full steam ahead, still writing and working on my third album, which comes out 2017, sometime next year.
Now, you write a lot of music, as you said. Now, do you sell the music? Are you the person that sings it all? Are you willing to branch out and say, hey, you can take my songs and you can sing them? What's the branch for that?
Well, basically, you know, I when I first started writing and I started actually recording, I did release an album, self-titled David Britt, that was just me, that I released back in 2012, and then I've released several singles since then. Those are on iTunes and all the different digital outlets and stuff like that. And then 2015, which was last year, I released Country Flow, and that was with the record label Spectrum Music Group.
Mm-hmm.
That was released last year, so you know that was everything digital, is obviously for sale, and then too there's hard pressed CDs as well that are for sale, and you can find those on iTunes and Amazon and Google and virtually every outlet you can find as far as the music goes, and so as far as moving forward, I will tell you right now, it would be wonderful if an artist wanted to record my music. I've got plenty of songs that I've written with another artist in mind singing them, and I'm a big fan of getting your music out there, because there's obviously thousands upon thousands of songs that were written by other artists but have been made popular worldwide by another artist.
Sure.
And I think that's the beauty of music. Paul Williams wrote Rainbow Connection. Well, Kermit the Frog took that thing from the Muppets movie. I mean, I love both versions. I mean, both are amazing. I love Paul Williams and love Kermit the Frog. Dolly Parton, I'll Always Love You. Whitney Houston sang it as well. I mean, it's I love them from both sides. So it's neat. If you study songwriting and you study music, you can see where songs came from. Tennessee Whiskey. Blake Shelton made a great point the other night on The Voice. He had a guy covered that song, which is obviously George Jones' song, which Chris Stapleton has re-recorded, and it's out of control, crazy good. But that's what's cool about songwriting and music, is that it flows over and over and over again. And so you'll hear songs that were recorded 20, 30 years ago that another artist recorded now, and so I'm a big fan of that. So yeah, if I got a call from Blake or Tim McGraw or somebody say, "Hey, Dave, we want to record your song," first I would have to get somebody to peel me off the floor, and then I would say, yeah, absolutely.
You were touching about how you have so many fans internationally. Just a comment is the fact that that's what we have found astonishing here at the station. We go out to 183 countries, and how universal, truly universal, music is.
Yes, sir.
It doesn't matter what culture or how you grew up. Music just connects us all.
It does. It is that one unifying thing. I mean, you can go to a concert, and you can be with 20,000 people there, and you might have 30% of the crowd be Democrats. 30% of the crowd be Republicans. 10% of the crowd not really giving a darn.
True, right.
And another 10% who can't vote yet. I mean, it's just but you'll all be sitting there singing the same song, and that's the beauty of music, is that it's something that brings everybody together. And because at the end of the day, we all want to be loved. We all want to be friends. We want our children to be healthy. And there's so many songs about that. I mean, you can take a song like Thank God for Kids by the Oak Ridge Boys, which to this day, if I hear that song, and I listen to it pretty much every day, you can't help but cry at least halfway through the song.
Let me tell you something. When that first came out, way back, my children were young. And I actually put together a video clip with that song, and it made me cry, and it makes me cry today. So you're right. You're right.
Yeah, it's incredible. I've got a list of songs, and that is definitely one that kind of go to the whole feeling of love and from children, and just the songs that have kind of brought that to life and how people connect with that. Like, What a Wonderful World,
yes.
Coat of Many Colors. Everybody loves I Love Little Baby Ducks. I mean, that song, that's another one that will knock you over, Tom T. Hall.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, it's incredible. And so I've got a list of songs that I listen to that I want my kids to hear them too. And my kids are real tenderhearted. So, if I put on Christmas Shoes by Alabama, it doesn't take very long. So all of us are sitting there with a box of Kleenex. But, that's the beauty of music. Everybody, I mean, of course, we love the fun songs that you want to dance and, jump around to and stuff like that. And there are obviously plenty of those songs. But it's the songs that really have meaning, that tell that story, that really, it tells you how important music is. And, God, could you imagine not having music?
No.
Oh, my goodness. What a boring world it would be. We got to have music, that's so important. And so it's so important to support, artists of all genres and not just, the guys you hear on the radio 24 hours a day. Support the guys who are writing those songs.
Absolutely.
The guys who are playing down at the coffee shop in front of 10 people.
Yes. That's
where it all starts. And if we keep supporting that, keep supporting the arts, that's so important. So important.
I'm going to have to ask you this because when I was doing some research, looking at stuff to ask you and talk about, I came across something, and I wanted your input because you had it on one of the, I can't remember which website. Anyway, it's a saying from Waylon Jennings that says, country music isn't a guitar, it isn't a banjo, it isn't a melody, it isn't a lyric, it's a feeling. Now, you had to be thinking something when you chose to put that on a website.
It's one of those things where, and there's been plenty of artists who've said the same kind of words and put them together in different ways. But it's a feeling. It's different than turning on a pop song, which I like pop music too. Nothing against that, but to get into a frame of mind where you feel the lyrics. And it touches you all over your body. It hits hard in your heart, in your gut. And when you have that, you've got something special. And when you write a song, within, just a 30, 40 seconds, if you're writing a song, every now and then you'll go, you know what? That's it right there. You get that feeling. Not every song you get that with, but every now and then you'll start writing something and go, oh my goodness, I'm on to something here. And that is such a huge thing. And so, country music is a feeling. And Blake Shelton on the other end on The Voice, he was talking about, how protective a lot of people are of country music and why it's so important. While obviously music does expand, just like cities, things grow over time. You'll have Charlotte's growing a town where I live, annexing every time you talk to somebody else, it's going somewhere else. But the thing about it is the same thing with music. Music keeps expanding, but with things like country music, it's great that it's reaching so many different people. But at the same time, you do have to be protective of it because there's the root, the foundation of country music is so important. Because if you look at the people who really brought it to where it is today, those who've made it possible for us to be where we are today, singing. You've got to protect that because you don't want to lose its, you don't want to lose its feeling. It's so important, and you want those stories to be told. I mean, hey, I love listening to somebody talking about sliding over into the middle of a truck and, you're bouncing down the road with your feet out the window. Those are fun. I mean, I write those kind of songs too, but, you also got to continue with the songs that talk about a person who passed away that you love, the person who broke your heart, the person you first fell in love with. The little boy coming home from school who fell off his bike and best friend helped him up and they got married later. Those are the songs that really define what country music is. So I'm a big fan of that, and I think you gotta really watch after that.
Yes, yeah. And we're big followers of I'm a bigger fan, I believe, than DJ Doc Jim of country music and
I grew up a country and western. I'm a little bit older than Vicki Lynn, so.
But I love all music.
See, I'm a product of the '70s as a rocker as a teenager. But I grew up, so I like it all. I'm like you. I like all genres. I really do.
What was that comment? Bourbon and bad choices.
What's
you're a product of bourbon and bad choices.
That's good. That was in a movie I watched the other night.
Yeah, we saw it too.
That's exactly right. Olympus has fallen. They used those exact lines the other night. Yep.
If people want to check out, get your music, how do they go about doing that?
You can always go to my website is davidbrittmusic.com, and if you go there, it's got my store, all my music's for sale, which will obviously eventually take it to iTunes. It's got my YouTube channel on there, and what I do with YouTube, like I said, I put everything out there. There's a mixture of studio recorded songs. There's high-tech, high-level music videos. Then there are videos of me singing at home. Just in my little room. There's a little room in my house that I just kind of devote to writing music in. And so I've probably got 140 songs on there. So that's youtube.com/DavidBritt music. But if you go to DavidBrittmusic.com, I've got everything there. And then my Twitter obviously is just @DavidBritt. I'm on Facebook, got a fan page there, and so I try my best to get out as many songs as I possibly can, just because, you never know who's listening, right?
Absolutely.
So, I get them out there, let people hear them, because at the end of the day, it's about the music. We'd all like to, have 500 fully produced studio songs on YouTube, but I think, same time, I think you kind of lose that feeling as well. You got to show kind of the growth of a song. So it's cool to see, like, hey, I saw where David did an acoustic version in his living room of a song, and then 6 months later, man, I saw a music video with a fully produced version of it. You can kind of see how it grows.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's something I think is really cool. So, if you go to davidbrittmusic.com, there's all kinds of information there.
And, David, you have some upcoming shows coming up. You had some tour dates. Do you have anything
Yes,
you
ma'am.
want to talk about that?
Yes, ma'am. So let's see here. In just about, I think we're probably about 5 weeks away, I've got a big concert I'm doing here in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is where I live, the home of the Panthers and the Hornets. And so, and not too far from Chapel Hill. I give a shout out to the Tar Heels. We won the ACC regular season championship last night over Duke. So, so here in Charlotte, I had to do that. Sorry, Duke fans. So here in Charlotte on April 16th, I'm doing a benefit concert. And the actual concert title name is Singing for a Reason. I've got a really close friend of mine, her and her husband, and he's a full-time musician as well. His name's Dave Desmelic. But Claire and Dave have a little son named Holmes who has an inoperable brain tumor. And so we are doing a benefit show at the Neighborhood Theater April 16th that we're going to, all the money goes to cancer research. There's a hospital, the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, that has a research arm called the Children's Brain Tumor Tissue Consortium.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to bring that up. I'm glad you are.
Yeah, it's a great. Hospitals all over the world benefit from the research that's done at the CBTTC up in Philadelphia, and so that's where Holmes goes for treatment. And he sees his doctors up there, even though he lives here in North Carolina. And so all the money from ticket sales and sponsorships and donations, et cetera, go to research. And so it's a internally funded event. So it's not like an event where we're, paying for 50 different things and then some of the money goes. It all goes there. And we've already raised, I think we're near $12,000 now.
That's amazing.
Already that's gone to the hospital. And so I have that show April 16th. I'm playing with my band. Jason Scavone, who's my producer, will be playing with me. Stefan Colander from Bubonic Funk will be playing lead guitar that night. Actually, their drummer as well will be playing with me. And then Reed Coobs, who's here from Charlotte. She's got one of the most beautiful voices you've ever heard. She sings Sweet Memories with me on my album. She'll be playing. And then Dave Desmelic, who is actually Holmes' father, the little boy who has the brain tumor, he'll be playing that night as well. And so I've got that show then. You can find out about it on singingforareason.com. All the information's there. And then the weekend after that, I'll be heading down to Orlando, Florida. I'm playing a show down there, a private show down there and then I've got another show in the upper state in New York in May, and then I'm still, kind of working on this summer. I'll definitely be doing some stuff probably regionally this summer, but right now, I've been doing a lot of radio stuff, TV shows, playing, here and there, and just going to get my music out there. But I'm really excited about the April concert. I mean, that's a big, big deal. So because it's for such an important reason, and it's been cool. A lot of people have rallied behind it. My awesome friend, brother from another mother, Joe Vonsel from the Oak Ridge Boys, he's been so awesome and helping me get the word out about the event. It's been really cool to see what he's done with that. It's been really awesome. A lot of other artists have gotten behind it. Mary Sarah, who's on The Voice the other night, she's such a sweet, sweet girl, so talented. She's helped me out with getting the word out about that as well on Twitter. So, hats off to those two great people. But, just, continue to work my rear end off as much as I can. I've got two beautiful children who, we've got run all over the place playing soccer and baseball and basketball and karate and everything else. So I'm doing that too. So never a dull moment, right? But
well, I tell you what,
it's fun.
Now, David, quick question for those of us who don't live in North Carolina and we would love to donate or contribute. Is there? I know you said the website. Is there another way to do that, or is that just the only way to give money and support for the event?
Sure. The easiest way is to go to SINGINFORA, so singingforareason.com. And when you see that site, you'll see really quickly that you can buy tickets there, but you can also just donate. And all that goes directly to the hospital. It doesn't go to me. There's no middleman, all that kind of stuff. So if you go to singingforareason.com, you'll see right away there is the opportunity to just donate, and that money goes directly to the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, and they take that money and put it into research, and you immediately will get a receipt and an email back that will let you know that you made your donation. Obviously, it's tax refundable and tax deductible, I should say. And so, it's really neat. I mean, the way we've set this whole event up is that there's not the whole, you write a check here and then we take that check and then we give it to here. It goes directly there. And then all the ticket sales from that night, that money will all go to the hospital as well. So that's the easiest way. Singingforareason.com, and it's right there in big bold print. Tells you exactly what to do.
You know what? We're gonna put that on our website so we can help them out. David, thank you so much for being with us, hanging out with us. I know you said you had your new album coming out next year. Please keep us in mind when you want to share some music. We got a worldwide audience, and many of them are men and women in uniform away from home. So we'd love to share with you. So thank you so much for spending part of your Sunday morning with us. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you, and thanks for all y'all do. And, I mean, like I said, when artists get put on people's shows, and especially one like this that supports veterans, and I'm a huge supporter, cannot say thank you enough to the men and women who serve and protect us every single day. I mean, words can't even describe how amazing they are. But so for the fact that the station is dedicated to those, is really, really awesome and honorable of y'all. So thanks for having me on the show. I really appreciate it and look forward to being lifelong friends with you.
Absolutely. Hey, don't hang up.